Okay, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has joined us now. Dale drives the number 88 Amp Energy National Guard Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. He comes in here third in points. Dale off to a good start. About had a win here last year, so you got to feel good about coming to Martinsville Speedway.
Yeah, I feel I feel pretty good. I always like running here and just been, having some pretty good runs the last several trips, and it's a fun little racetrack. I like short track racing, enjoy the short tracks on the circuit, and it's not too far from home, so it's kind of, in your backyard almost.
Questions for Dale? Start right here with Claire. Get Claire the microphone, and we'll work our way over to the right. Go ahead, Claire.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Every 6 months or so, there's a headline, Dale Jr.'s confidence is at an all-time high. And there was a lot of questions about whether that keeps ratcheting up to some point of just exploding confidence, or if it's the cars that you're driving, because you were talking with Kyle last week about the comfort of the cars. Can you talk about that and the confidence level?
I mean, I don't really know how to measure confidence, but we feel pretty good about what's going on and what's happening to us and how the thing's going down. The cars are, except for Phoenix, and we didn't run that great at Phoenix last year either, so we just need to keep working there. But some tracks you just don't hit it on, and we have a handful of those tracks, but we're starting to run more consistently up front at more racetracks. And hopefully this year we've solved a few cases. We'll just have to find out once we get to them. But, the confidence is good. Confidence is up real high. And, there's still some, things we want to improve on. And, the races can't come fast enough for our team right now. We're really liking being at the track and being on the track and making laps and working.
Let's go right here, Dustin, and then we'll go to Bob. Go ahead, Dustin.
Dustin Long, SI.com. Dale, I want to ask you, after your pre-race introductions, you get put in the back of a pickup truck with another competitor, somebody you're going to race at, within a few minutes, and you've got a few minutes with them. What do you talk about in the back of the truck? Are you talking about cars? Are you talking about vacations? Are you laughing at what fans are doing? And what's it like when you're in the back of a pickup with somebody not as friendly with or had a run-in with, and what's that tension like?
They're all opportunities. If it's somebody you don't like, it's an opportunity to it's normally when it's someone you don't like, you never really would go out of your way to talk to them, so it's an opportunity to sort of get some dialogue going between the two of you. Last week, I think I was paired up with Kenseth, and me and him are really good friends, so it was a chance to just catch up, We don't really all spend much time talking to each other in the garage, or me and Matt kind of talk back and forth on the phone a little bit, but, for the most part, you don't really hear much from most of the guys, so it's a chance just to kind of see what they're doing and what they've been up to, but it's a really monotonous part of the morning, and you just kind of hope that you get paired with somebody that has something worth talking about.
Did you start a dialogue with somebody that you had issues with in the past that's in the back of the truck?
Yeah, one time I wrecked Jimmy Spencer, and I ran out of brakes at Richmond and wrecked him in the 99, and then I was riding with him in the back of a pickup truck for a nationwide race, I think later that year. And so I talked to him about running into him, and we had that discussion. And I don't, I've sort of, I can't really remember having that kind of discussion with anybody else, but, it gives you a chance to talk to guys who don't do a lot of talking. Sometimes if you get lucky enough to get in the back of the truck with Bobby Labonte or somebody like that and get a chance to really get in their ear a little bit and get some, advice from them, or, guys that are really good at that but don't really talk too much, you kind of get that opportunity.
Go ahead, Bob, front row here.
Bob Pocker, Sporting News. Harvick's run really well here the last few years. Obviously, you know, he nipped you last year. Any idea what makes him so good here?
Well, he came from short track racing out west, so I just have to think that he has a really good short track background, has a good knowledge of how to drive the track, and you know, he's with a good team, and he elevates that team. That team's really good around him, but he also demands them to perform at a certain level, and you know, it seems to really you know, benefit him at times. But they have a good package here, and he's a really good short track driver.
Go ahead, sir.
John Paciello, Channel 10 in Roanoke. Dale, there aren't any other sports where the competitors would agree to do a question-answer session with the fans a couple hours before their competition, except you guys. You're doing it again Sunday at the Fan Zone. Just curious about your commitment to that type of thing and whether or not, I don't know, it helps you on race day to pass the time or what?
Well, this is how that works, I think. But my sponsors, one of my sponsors, it's either the Guard or Diet Mountain Dew Amp this weekend, sells that appearance to the racetrack, or else otherwise I would be meeting with, you know, a handful of folks directly related with the sponsorship. So at certain racetracks every year, they will sell the appearance to the racetrack to use however they want, and it happens to be the Q&A thing this Sunday. And you know, we go out there and we do. It's part of your morning. It's something it's always been part of the Sunday morning is hospitalities, and they range in various sizes and styles, and you know different. It might be autographs, it might be Q&A, it might be in a big old tent, it might be 4 people out in front of your motorhome, but you know, you just do it. It's part of the job. You know, it's time. My brain's really kind of locked up on Sundays, so I'm not very productive when it comes to conversation and stuff. But you know, you go out there and do it.
Melinda, right here.
Melinda Adams, ESPN. Hendrick has a good record here, 18 wins, and y'all could get the 200th this weekend. Just wondering what it would mean for you to get that 200th win, and a non-serious question, who you picked for the Final Four.
I don't even know who's in it. Carolina ain't in it, so I ain't paying no attention. You know, it would be a good win for us. I mean, we would love to win anywhere, but we definitely would like to be the team. I think all 4 teams want to be the team that wins the 200th win for Rick. He does so much for everybody, and rarely do you get an opportunity to give something back to him that of this kind of magnitude. So I think we all would love to win it, but you know, we're just going to work hard and try to be smart and run a good race, and hopefully that's going to put us in position to fight for the win at the end.
Monty, raise your hand, Monty.
Guys my size usually don't have to do that. Dale, you came in sort of a standard way to prepare your career. You started out driving stock cars on the short tracks. For a period of time, about the time you came along, a lot of guys from open wheel sprints and midgets did very well in NASCAR. It got very fashionable. People even said that at least non-wing sprint cars were best preparation. People who start out in road racing have historically had a difficult time making an adjustment to racing stock cars on anything but road courses. If you had to do it all over, or I mean, there's so many kids today who are 5 years old are getting their whole career planned out years in advance. What would you do to prepare yourself for being where you are now?
I think I would have went the same route, just because of the area that I'm from and where I would want to be. I wouldn't want to be too far from my family, and you know, midget racing and stuff like that is not very popular in North Carolina, so I would probably have done the same thing. There are some advantages. I think, you know, there are some advantages to running USAC and stuff like that. as far as really learning great car control, driving on dirt and stuff like that too, helps you a lot. I didn't have any dirt experience at all, and to this day still really don't have any. But I think that helps a lot, really developing car control. But you know, there are advantages to driving a late model stock car too, as far as the size of the car and the weight of the car, and how similar it is to, you know, chassis wise and whatnot. So you get a great feel for a stock car early on that you can't really get from a USAC or you know, an indoor sprint or anything like that. But there's a lot of great advantages to either route, and I don't think you can go wrong really with either one.
Right here, Dale, far left.
Jordan Canigliaro, WCYB in Bristol. Do you think it's necessary for Bruton to tear his track up in Bristol again? I mean, to get the attendance back to what it used to be, do you think that's what it takes?
I don't really know what he needs to do. I think it would be, like Matt said, I think it would be incredible if they paved the track asphalt. I'm not sure if that would work out or not, but it'd be really awesome to try it. I don't know whether if they really go all the way as far as reconfiguring the track to the old style. You know, I'm not sure it'll work perfectly. And you know, there were a lot of things about the track, and the tire was way different, and so I don't know how that's going to work out. But I'm afraid that odds of them getting it right aren't in their favor. But we are all pulling for them. We all want the best for the racetrack, and we want the best for the. We want the best. That you know, that was a bragging point for us when that was when that's such a great ticket to have, and that's such a monumental place that you know, anytime somebody comes up and says, have you any idea where I should go watch my first NASCAR race? I mean, it's either Daytona 500 or Bristol. And if you go to Daytona, you tell them you still have to go to Bristol because you ain't seen nothing like it, and never will. But so we want the best for the racetrack, but it's going to be really tough to sort of get it back to the way it was. I'm not sure that they have to do anything at all either. I mean, they could probably work on the tire a little bit and see if that made a difference. The tires are the number one component connecting the car to the racetrack. They have to have a major play in how cars race, drive, compete against each other on the racetrack. So I think those the tires being the number one variable to me are what could affect what the race looks like, what the race appears to be to the fan. I think that's sort of a underappreciated part of the puzzle, is how much those tires really have a play in that.
Running short on time. Final question, Patrick.
Patrick Levy, NASCAR Media Group. Dale, a few weeks after the break, we'll be in Kansas. You had a second place finish there last year. Can you talk about going back to Kansas and racing there?
Kansas is a lot of fun. Did they repave that track, or are they going to after the race? I got you. Well, the track's, if we're going back on the old surface, it's really slick and a lot of fun, and very wide. You know, the track kind of widens up pretty good, and guys are running the bottom, guys are running the top. A lot of different ways to go around the track, which makes it a whole lot of fun for a race car driver when you get options like a track like that provides you with. But it's really, really slick, and for whatever reason, man, it just aged really, really fast. There are some seams and a lot of a lot of filler and a bunch of cracks that are not a whole lot of fun, but that kind of that's just something you kind of got to deal with and move around and try to do the best you can not to run over them. But it's the racing there, I think, has been pretty good. The finishes there have been interesting one way or another, and I'm sure it'll be the same way this time.
Dale, thanks a lot, and good luck this weekend at Martinsville.